Okay, so I've got the bottom on this side, at least up to the door. So a couple things to keep in mind. When you're putting the bottom piece on, you want to make sure it's on that starter strip. So make sure it clicks, work your hand along it end to end, and make sure it's up underneath. Another thing, obviously your 1/4 inch gaps on the inside of your corner or J channel, and your overlap on your pieces. So about an inch. As you can see here, it's about an inch overlap. Yeah, so that's kind of, once you get that on, then it kind of all falls into place. So now I'll probably start with a full piece on this side, and I'm just going to work on this area up until close to the top of the door, and then I'll start that small section on the other side and work up, and then we'll see. I should have a piece that kind of comes over top of the door. So we'll work on this, and we'll get this area done first. So I'll just time lapse it from here. Okay, I'm gonna just take a minute to talk about this wall. Struggling a lot with it. I got up to about this height yesterday, pulled a bunch off because I noticed the seams could literally like pull and they were just like popping loose. I don't know why. I don't know if I was just not pulling up enough. But anyways, so far today it seems to have gone pretty well. They seem pretty snug, so it's weird because they were locking in. Anyways, I'm gonna come around this side. So then this morning I decided to check what I did yesterday. So I checked the seams here and up above, and I did find one right here. Like, I'm not pulling, like, there you go there. So this one though, there's no way I can fix that. I guess I could pull all the siding off. I'm not gonna bother. Every other seam really tight and snug, and that one's still locked in. Like, it's in there. It's in there when I pull. It's when I pull right near the end that it pops loose. But yeah, when I, like, it's in because it's moving the bottom piece with it. It's just when you pull right near the seam. So I hope when it expands and contracts, it doesn't just like pop that loose. Like, I think someone would actually have to grab it and pull on it. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Everything else seems good. I guess this is my first time doing vinyl, so yeah. But that's something I'm kind of a little bit more careful of now. So you probably see me pulling on those seams throughout some of the clips. I'm just kind of making sure it's fairly snug and it's not going to pop loose. But I think one out of all the ones I've done is pretty good for your first time. And I don't know if that's even normal. Maybe leave a comment down below. Make sure you like the video too. Yeah, comment down below if that's something that just kind of normally happens. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but just seemed a little odd on the opposite wall because it was like every single one, and it was like easier than that one. So that's why I pulled off all the siding and kind of redid it this morning. So yeah, anyways, we'll get back to it. So I was just working on the wall here. I'm going to take a break and then start on the front, the garage side, just because this wall was a little bit of a pain. I think it looks good, but I'm at the point where you can see I'm at the door. So I need to do the other side of the door so that I can join the piece over top. I've also realized that there's a bigger gap here than it kind of narrows, so I guess my starter strip's off or something's off, but it was really hard to get these pieces to lock together and stay together. I don't know what the issue is, if I have a bunch of defective siding or something, but yeah, even that last piece, I didn't film it, but it's I don't know, you can kind of pull on it and it wanted to come off, so I don't know. I was pulling up pretty good and I thought it was locked in, but yeah, I'm gonna work on the front, the short pieces on either side of the garage, and that should be a little bit less stressful. Okay, so I think that worked out pretty well. I haven't measured, but just eyeballing it, I'm gonna say it's pretty even enough. We'll see when we start getting that next piece up, but I'd say I'm pretty happy with that. That'll be the next step, getting that piece figured out. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of a little sliver of a piece at the top there on top of that J channel, and I might put undersill trim in there, but I gotta figure that out still. So I'm just gonna give a quick update. My camera's dying, so I gotta charge it, so you might miss some of this, the next few pieces, but I got that piece fitted and up there. I'm not using undersill trim. I think that's just gonna complicate things. And hey Gally, my cat's meowing at me right now. So no undersill trim. I think that's gonna just complicate the matter, and I've actually realized what I did wrong. So what I should have done, instead of the way I've done it, I've got that really thin strip above the garage on one big piece. I probably should have, and I think this is what you're supposed to do for this kind of stuff, is when you set your starter strip, like I know my siding has an 8-inch reveal, so I should have measured from the top of something like that, the garage, down, and gotten a number that was even, or would end up close to that, like a measurement that would divide by 8 evenly. And then basically when I went up the side with the small pieces, it would have come out fairly level, and then I could have just put one fresh piece across the top. I think that's what I probably should have done. So I know I did something wrong here, but it is what it is. So now I'm going to go across. I'm going to use a level, I think, just when I'm nailing in this piece at the top, to make sure it's level all the way across as much as possible. And then that way the next piece will go on nicely. So you can see here, got it up there. It's not nailed in, but looks good. Gaps are good. But again, yeah, that piece up in the middle, that thin little strip, I realized I probably should have done this differently, but I'm not going to bother taking it all off, and I'm just going to make this work and finish off this upper gable end. So okay, so I'm working on the angled pieces on the gable end now. So basically what I've done is I've got a bunch of scrap, take a scrap piece and kind of figure out that angle. I'm not going to tell you how to figure out that angle, because I struggled with it quite a bit. But basically I took my scrap piece and I pushed it into the corner, and I took a measurement out from the corner and then up to the angle, something like that, and then drew a line and cut it. But that's kind of my jig, and then I've been just tracing it on the ends here. You can kind of see pencil line, cutting it out, and then test fitting it, making adjustments as necessary. So yeah, anyways, we'll time lapse it from here. Success. We got around the junction box. Okay, so now we've got almost the entire thing sided. The last thing we got to do are basically the last few rows on either side, the long sides. So I'll show you here. So, and I've kind of already put a scrap piece up. It's going to take basically two pieces or two more rows, or like a row and a little strip. Same with this side. So it's like a row, be like a full piece basically, and then like a little strip at the top that'll tuck into the undersill trim, hopefully. That's the plan. got the 2 gable ends done, which is super exciting. The one thing I was thinking about when I was finishing those was, you know, this would be the last time I'm going up the ladder to you know, do something on this wall. And I'm sure you guys have seen me going up and down ladders a million times, so really happy about that. And I think they turned out pretty well. That top piece, those top pieces were a pain. I used like a little 3-inch piece of undersill trim on that last piece and kind of just tucked it in, and hopefully that holds. Hopefully that doesn't blow away. But anyways, enough chit chat. Let's get this thing done. So for this side, I just finished that last couple pieces. I got to do a little strip still into the undersill trim, but I didn't show that the piece above the door. It was a nightmare. I don't know why, but probably took a good 45 minutes to an hour just to do that piece. I think I tried 3 attempts. I cracked a piece. I cut it too big over the door, so there was too much of a gap on either side. And then it was just tough to get nailed into place. So it looks okay, but very tough to nail up there. It was jammed right up against that undersill trim. So now I got to do, I don't have to probably, but I want to make it look clean. So a little strip that'll tuck into that undersill trim. So that'll be the next thing. Yeah, so we'll finish that and then this side is done. Okay, so we're cutting those last strips. So that's what's it's going to tuck up in the undersill trim. And then I'm going to use this tool. And that punches your little indentation along here, which catches on that trim. Very important step. And it should hold up okay. We'll see though. See how it goes. So anyways, we'll get to that and we'll get this side finished off. So always make sure this is pointing upwards, and you're making that indentation on the right side. I do it every inch or two, every couple inches probably, actually, from the looks of it here. There you go. Ready to go on. well, that was the last piece. Siding's done. Siding is done. I think it turned out okay. Those top pieces, real pain. So this side specifically, it was uneven. It wasn't really all that level. And then right where the top of that second last strip, that last full piece went, the nailing flange was kind of interfering with the J channel and the undersill trim. I did the best I could. Cut that last strip, so it was like probably approximately 2.5 inch strip that then I tucked inside that undersill trim. So that kind of finished it off. Yeah, so that's done. It's like a huge relief. Not having to go up and down a ladder again is I'm like speechless actually. That might seem weird, but this has been a lot of work, so yeah, it's officially done. There are a few things I still have to do. Let's do a full walk around here, and then I'll point out a few things. So one of the last things I want to do is go around and trim that wrap, I think, that's hanging down. Just purely an aesthetic thing. So there's a bunch on this back side, so I'll probably just go around with scissors and trim that up so it's not visible. This side's really tight, it's really hard to see. This is the first wall I did. Those gable ends were a pain in the butt. That side's all done. Again, the top piece here was a nightmare. And this last piece over the door I did. Sorry. This section, I was dreading doing this section here, and that went really quick. Like cutting the piece that went around the electrical box and that there. The mount, I think it all turned out relatively well for being my first siding project. So this side was more level than the other side, that's for sure, in terms of the siding being straight and even. Yeah. So yeah, just couple things. So yeah, trimming the house wrap along the bottom, I'm going to do that. The corner pieces, I'm probably going to take where I folded the two bottom pieces and put a few screws or a screw in to kind of hold that, just so nothing can get up inside. I'm going to do that. And then the last big thing, well, not really, I don't think it'll take that long to do, but I want to build a landing, just because there's that step up in. So I think I'll do kind of like like a square, and then maybe stairs around here, or just stairs up to that landing. Might put a railing kinda. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm not in a rush to do that, but it's basically done, at least the exterior, so it's a relief. Yeah. So there you have it. Shed is finally done. At least the exterior. It's all the siding's done, and yeah, actually I made a landing too. I didn't film that, but check that out. So I leveled 4 cinder blocks and then basically framed, that's 2x6s treated, framed it, and then cut all the boards. Those are 2x6s as well. Some of them you can see are older. I refurbished some that actually came off our our deck over there. We painted the deck, stained it actually. Yeah, so we had a railing around that, and I took it apart, and we kind of used some of it for this. So, and then I did the one step. Basically used chunks of 6x6s and just kind of leveled them roughly. I put down a bunch of gravel actually here and here, and leveled them, and then just put two 2x6s across, nailed them in. So kind of rough, but good enough first step and up to that landing into the shed. I was gonna continue it around this side, but it was just, I don't know, I figured with the 6x6s it's probably gonna shift a bit, but yeah. And then there was water would pool right here, so I put down a bunch of gravel. I don't know if probably won't really help because there's a lot of clay underneath, but yeah. So there you have it, guys. The siding, it's all done. Soffit, fascia, trim around the garage. I think it turned out pretty well, being my first siding project. So we've had a few hot days actually, and this hasn't. I was worried. I was, thinking it might buckle or warp or shift, but it looks as good as the day I put it on. So I think it'll stand up to the heat okay. In the expansion, we'll just have to see how it holds up in the winter. Obviously that's a ways away, but yeah, the trim, as you saw in my first siding video, it's not the greatest, but it's almost unnoticed. Actually, it is pretty noticeable. I'm noticing now. Oh well, whatever. That one top piece is pretty off, but it is what it is. This side looks good. I don't think there's any issues. Just kind of checking it all out. You can see on this side, you can see all the lines, overlaps. Yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. Can't believe the outside's done. Obviously you guys saw how much work that was between the doing the bird blocking and the strapping and soffit, fascia, and all the siding. Hours and hours of work, so, but rewarding. Yeah, learned how to do basically everything, right from framing all the way up, roof, yeah, so gained a lot of skills, which is nice, so I'll use those on future projects. And yeah, I actually won't be finishing the interior myself, but that's coming for another video. That'll be the next video. Kind of a big update, so I might be helping out with it, but that's as much as I'm gonna say. So anyways, make sure you like this video, subscribe down below if you haven't already. Stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.